All right, hey everyone, Jeff. Excuse me, Jeff here at stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Talk about postal power and the UPU, or the Universal Postal Union in Bern, Switzerland. It's an extremely significant organization in today's world. It's formulated by treaty. No nation can be recognized as a nation without being in international admiralty in order to have a forum common to all other nations for engaging in commerce and resolving disputes. That is why the USA, under the Articles of Confederation, could not be recognized as a country, because every state or colony was sovereign with its own common law, which foreclosed other countries from interacting with the USA as a nation in international commerce. Today, the International Admiralty is the private jurisdiction of the International Monetary Fund et al., the IMF, the creditor in the bankruptcy of essentially every government on Earth today. The UPU operates under the authority of treaties with every country in the world. It is, as it were, the overlord or overseer over the common interaction of all countries in international commerce. Every nation has a postal system. Watch the movie The Postman, I think, with, I can't remember the guy's name. But you'll see the importance of the post office and the postal system and reestablishing commerce in a country, and also has reciprocal banking and commercial relationships, whereby all are within and under the UPU. The UPU is the #1 military. International Admiralty is also military contract mover on the planet. For this reason, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but do you remember after 9/11, Ron Paul requested, he wrote a letter to Bush actually, and requested that he do a, and I'm gonna blank on the name, but I'll get back to it. For this reason, one should send all important legal and commercial documents through the post office rather than private carriers, which are firewalls. We want to direct access to the authority and the corresponding availability of remedy and recourse of the Universal Postal Union. For instance, if you post through the U.S. Post Office and the U.S. Postmaster does not provide you with the remedy you request within 21 days, you can take the matter to the UPU. This is very powerful information. You have to learn this. Involving the authority of the UPU is automatically invoked by the use of postage stamps. Utilization of stamps includes putting stamps on any documents for cloud purposes, not mailing. We wish to introduce into the system. As long as you use a stamp of any kind, you are in the game. If you have time, resources, and the luxury of dealing with something well before expiration of a given time frame, you can use stamps that you consider ideal. The most preferable stamps are ones that are both large and contain the most colors. In an emergency situation, or simply if economy is a consideration, any stamp will do. Using postage stamp and autograph on it makes you the postmaster for that contract. Whenever you put a stamp on a document, inscribe your full name over the stamp at an angle. The color ink you use for this is a function of what color will show up best against the colors in the stamp. Ideal colors for doing are purple, blue, red, and black. Use stamps on an important document, such as a check, travel documents, paperwork you put into court, etc. Where to put the stamp and how many stamps to use depends on the document. On foundational documents and checks, for instance, put a stamp on the right-hand corner of the instrument, both on the front and on the back. The bottom right-hand corner of the face of a check, note, or bill of exchange signifies the liability. Furthermore, the bottom right-hand corner of the reverse of the document is the final position on the page. So no one can endorse anything using a restricted endorsement or otherwise after that. So it kind of ends the document there. You want to have the last word. If you have only one stamp, put it where you're expected to sign and autograph over it crosswise or at an angle. In the case of a traffic ticket, for instance, put a stamp on the lower right-hand corner where you are supposed to sign and autograph across the stamp at an angle. Autographing a stamp not only establishes you as the postmaster of the contract, but constitutes a cross-claim. Using the stamp process on documents presents your adversaries with a problem because their jurisdiction is subordinate to that of the Universal Postal Union, which you have now invoked for your benefit. The result in practice of doing this is that whenever those who know what you are doing are recipients of your documents with autographed stamps, they back off. And if they do not, take the matter to the U.S. Postmaster to deal with. If he will not provide you with your remedy, take the matter to the UPU for them to clean up. A lot of people have done this remedy, and it works. Because the United States is just a corporation and they have to abide by the laws of the Universal Postal Union. If you don't, you can get your remedy through them. They don't want you to know that, though. The U.S. doesn't want you to know that. The countries whose stamps would be most effective to use are China, Japan, United States, and Great Britain. Utilizing these countries covers both East and West. However, since the U.S. seems to be the point man in implementing the New World Order, one might most advisably use a U.S. stamp. If you put stamps on documents you submit into court, put a stamp on the back of each page at the bottom right-hand corner. Do not place any stamps on the front of court paperwork, since doing so alarms the clerk. By placing your autograph stamp on the reverse right-hand corner, you prevent being damaged by one of the tricks of judges these days. The judge might have your paperwork on his bench but turned over, so he only sees the back side, which is ordinarily blank on every page, is visible. Then if you ask about your paperwork, he might say something like, "Yes, I have your paperwork in front of me, but I don't find anything." He can't see anything on the blank side of the page. If you place an autograph stamp on the lower right-hand corner, you can foreclose a judge for engaging in this trick. In addition, when it comes to court documents, one side is criminal and the other is civil. Using the autograph stamp that you rubber stamp with your seal, bullet stamp, on the backside of your court documents and is evidence that you possess the canceled obligation on the civil side. Since there can be no assessment for criminal charges and you show that you are the holder of the civil assessment, there is no way out for the court. Also, on any court document you put in, handwrite your EIN number, Social Security number, without dashes, in gold on the top right corner of every page with the autograph stamped on the back side. Use a notary combined with the postage stamp and sometimes embassy stamps gives you a priority mechanism. Everything is commerce, and all commerce is contract. The master of the contract is the post office, and the UPU is the supreme overlord of the commerce, banking, and postal systems of the world. Use these stamps in this manner gets the attention of those in the system to whom you provide your paperwork and makes you the master of that post office. Use of the stamps is especially important when dealing with the major players such as the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, Treasury, etc. They understand the significance of what you're doing. Many times they hand documents back to someone using this approach and say, "Have a nice day, sir." They don't want any untoward repercussions coming back on them. If anybody asks you why you're doing what you're doing, suggest that they consult their legal counsel for the significance. It is not your job to explain the law, nor explain such thing as your exemption or your set-off account. The system hangs us by our own words. We have to give them the evidence, information, contacts, and legal determination they require to convict us. The wise words of Calvin Coolidge, the most taciturn president in U.S. history, are apt. When asked why he spoke so little, he replied, "I have never been hurt by anything I didn't say." The bottom line is, whenever you need to sign any legal commercial document, put a stamp, even if it's a 1-cent stamp, over where you sign and sign at an angle across it. Let the recipient deal with the significance and consequences of your actions. If you are in a court case or at any stage of a proceeding, such as an indictment, summons, complaint, or any other hostile encounter with the system, immediately do the following. And I'll put the rest in the description down below on this video. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks. Have a great day.